don't know unless they are around people who are different from what they are. They don't know. They don't know how to be. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Ashley J's, and for those of you who do not know me, I am Ashley J. I'm so happy that you're here with me to have a chat. And what I kind of decided for us to chat about today is when change never comes. So before we get started, make sure you like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so that you know the next time I drop a new video. So I know you heard this before. I'm sorry. I'm going to change. I promise. I'm going to change. I'm sorry I did it again. I'm going to change. I know you heard that before. I know you had to. Everybody, if you've ever been in a relationship before, you heard it. Okay. So that leaves you. What happens? What happens after that? That leads you to hold on to the hope that the individual is going to change. Matter of fact, you even believe it because they may have had tears coming out of their eyes. They had a sincere look, all of the everything, the bells and whistles, they were going to change and you believed it. But a little while later, same behavior starts to rear its ugly head. What happened? So today we are talking about um what happens when change never comes. Okay, so it's like really easy for me to tell you, hey, just pack up your stuff and leave. It's really easy for me to say that. Like I could just say that and that'll be the end of the video. But if you are someone, maybe you're married or you're in a committed relationship and it's not that simple for you to do that, this video is for you. Okay, so multiple times in my life, I have heard this. Yo, I promise I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to do it again. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have did it this time. I know I told you before. I know you heard it before. I'm not going to do it again. I'm changing. I'm working on it. If you notice, I kind of stopped this thing, but the thing that's constantly occurring that's hurting you is still there, and you're you're looking at yourself like, okay, is something wrong with me? Am I the one that has an issue? Like, could it just be me? Could it just be in my head? Like, what is going on? Because I know I said I don't like this. Excuse me. I know I said I don't like this, but you keep doing it. Is it me? And then you start saying, I don't want to be boo boo the fool. I don't want to be looking crazy standing by you, but you still seem to be disrespecting me. This could be like, it could be an argument that you have with someone and they start calling you out your name. They start acting crazy during the argument, and you are someone who maybe been through abuse before, and you ask this person, hey, I need you not to be this way because it makes me think that you're going to do this. I need you to stop that. And they seem to understand you. And they're like, okay, I'm gonna work on trying not to do it. And then they keep doing it. Or it could be something as simple as, listen, um, I asked you, I've asked you to wash my clothes. I know I asked you to do that. But for some reason, you keep putting these red socks in with my white clothes and you're changing the color of my white clothes. It could be that simple. Okay. But either way, there was a behavior that was requested. There was a behavior that was requested to be changed, and it has not changed yet. So you have to kind of consider the source, consider the person that you are requesting the change in, consider what their upbringing was like. Okay, what did they what was it like for them growing up as a kid? What was their household like? What were they used to doing as a kid? Because that is going to give you um, the answer, and that is going to let show you, okay, maybe they don't know how to change because this is all they've been around. So consider the source. That's what I want you to do. If you're close with their family, see if anybody else in the family acts the way they do when they get mad. Find out some stories that maybe you were never privy to. Ask about that so that you can see what's going on. Maybe you can get a better understanding of the person you are requesting the change of. Like I'll say for me, I'm transparent with y'all and I always give you my real life examples. So for me, um, I grew up and everything was nice and tidy in this place, and we had to make sure we cleaned all the time. And it became a habit for me to make sure I made everything clean. Everything had its own place. And when I was, became older, okay, and my sister, she's 5 years younger than I am. So when I became older, she would go in my room and, try to take my perfume or whatever it was. And as soon as I walked in my room, I would notice something was out of place. And I'll go immediately to her and say, "What did you take out of my room?" She's like, "Dang, I thought, how'd you know? How did you know that? I tried to put it back in your place." But no, you didn't. You didn't, because I see that this is not in line. Okay. So I'm telling you that because once I got with my husband, he was the opposite. He was more like my sister. Like I was the clean one. My sister was, kind of like a tornado. Okay. So my husband, he was not a tidy person. Okay. So it would it used to drive me nuts that he would be not tidy, and it used to drive him nuts that I was super tidy. So he would start labeling me OCD and all of that because um I was just extra with being clean. So I've requested, "Hey, can you be a little bit better with keeping up with your stuff?" And he's requested, "Hey, can you calm down a little bit with the OCD?" And we both worked on meeting each other's needs in the middle. And now we have a healthy compromise, a healthy balance between the two. But sometimes my cleaning tendencies do seem to pop up, and I can be a little extra at times. But that's okay because I learned to accept him for where he is, and he learned to accept me for where I am. And we work together to make sure that everything is the way we both can handle it. Okay. So you have to know the source. All right, and understand what that person's background is like. The next thing you need to consider is, are they even capable of change? Can they change? As I said before, there are some people who they are um they are really uh they don't know. I'll just say that they don't know unless they are around people who are different from what they are. They don't know. They don't know how to be. Let's say my example. They don't know how to be clean. They don't know how to separate clothes properly. Maybe they don't know because they've never been taught and they were never shown something different, given a different example. So they don't know. Here's a good one. Um, I don't. I'm late with this, but I'm sure maybe you've seen it already. There was the interview between Oprah and Viola Davis, and she was saying how growing up, how poor her family was. They were really, really poor. And she was saying that, she wet the bed until she was 14 years old. And because she was not taught what to do when you wet the bed, she went to school smelling like pee until a nurse came. They brought her and her sister into the office, and a nurse talked to them about cleaning themselves. She didn't know because she was never taught. Until she was taught and shown what to do, that's when that behavior changed. So you have to find out if they're capable of change. If they don't know how to change, you cannot expect them to change. You can't expect it, because now you have put yourself in a place where you are needing this change, but that change is not going to come because the person is, one, not going to tell you that they don't know how to make the change until things become dire. Two, they have never been taught anything else besides that one habit. You have to see if they are capable of change, and even consider the intelligence. Consider their intelligence. Are they intelligent enough to recognize that I'm asking for them to change this behavior and they can or cannot change it? Can they comprehend that? Think about it. Consider that as that source, okay? Consider that. All right. The other thing you can do is, if you are staying in this relationship, like I said, if this is something that you a person that you're married to or somebody that you are in a committed relationship with, if your goal is to stay in this relationship, then I want you to give them a deadline. Yes, give them a deadline for the change to happen. Cause, and I know you're probably like, girl, what? Why would I do that? Because if you want change, you're going to have to put a time frame on when the change needs to occur. There's when setting a goal, this is like setting a goal. Okay. Asking someone to change is like setting a goal. So when setting a goal, you need to come up with a date when that goal needs to be executed. Same rule applies here. You want somebody to change, you need to set a goal for when that change needs to come. And you need to be clear about what needs to be changed. You can't say, I'm sick of you always being this. I need you to change. Well, what exactly is it that they're doing that's causing you to react that way so that they can make the proper change? Be clear about what needs to change. So let's say with my baby, my son, I'll tell him, Marquise, I need you to be tidy. I need you to clean up after yourself. Well, what does that mean for a 3-year-old? I have to show him what I need him to do. But baby, this is what you do. Pick up your toys. Come on, we're going to pick up your toys and we're going to put them in a toy box. And that's when I explain to him, this is what I mean by cleaning up behind yourself, or taking your plate and putting it in the sink. You're becoming a big boy now. Pick up your plate and put it in the sink. That is showing him what needs to be changed. Sometimes when you are working with somebody who does not understand, or somebody who doesn't know why you keep going off on them about this thing, you need to show them and explain to them like they are a child what you need them to change. And then once you do that, once you are clear about it and you have a clear date about what needs to change, then you come up with the consequence for when the change doesn't happen. When, let's say, for my son, if I say to him, Marquise, I need you to clean up. I need you to clean up. I need you to clean up and pick up behind yourself. And I say that 100 times and I've already showed him 200 times what I meant. Then the consequence is, okay, so you're really just not listening. So what's going to happen is you're sitting in timeout for, I don't know, 5 minutes. You're going to sit in timeout. No TV, no tablet, no phone. You're sitting in the timeout, and I'm done. Then you do that, the behavior starts to change. So now when I say, okay, baby, it's time to clean up. Okay, mommy, picks up his toys. Same thing for your relationship. Put a deadline, give a consequence. What's the consequence? That's up to you what the consequence is. What is the consequence? Then the next thing you need to do is create a boundary or boundaries. Guess what? Boundaries are your friend. Okay? They are your friend. So create boundaries. Come up with boundaries to protect your space, protect your mentality, your heart, all of that. Create boundaries. Those are up to you. But your boundary needs to be something that is clear, concise, something that can be implemented, and something that can be followed. Okay, create your boundaries. So maybe if, let's say, your mom calls you 100 times a day, clear boundary would be, mom, you can only call me 20 times a day. That's a boundary. She has to go abide by that boundary. If she doesn't, you don't answer the phone. Clear, simple as that. Okay. And I need the number one thing I really need you to do is understand that you can't change anybody. You cannot change not one person at all. You can't change them because they need to be ready for change themselves. A lot of times, as women, we will spend our lives trying to change someone who is not ready to change. And then we become heartbroken and we're banging our heads against the wall. Like, we're doing all of the things because we're disappointed that this person has not changed. But guess what? We're expecting them to do something that they are not willing to do. You cannot make someone change. They must want to change to save your marriage. They must want to change to make sure the relationship is in a healthy place. They have to do it, not you. And once they are ready to change, then you do all the rest of the things that I told you about. All right. So I hope that this video was good for you guys. Drop a comment below telling me if you ever dealt with someone who wouldn't change or couldn't change. I want to know. Put it in the comments. And if you would like to have a further discussion about this, head over to my website. It's ashleyj.com and book some time with me. Let's talk. Let's talk about it. Okay. And make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell, so that you know the next time I drop a new video. All right, guys. So until we chat again, bye.